Hello everyone and welcome to another speed build. So this is what we are going to be building today, and we are building in Britechester of all places. So this one is for my save file and is for students. It is a student house with 3 bedrooms and a study and 3 bathrooms of all things, and it is actually working to a budget. So this house will come under 40k because I was planning on putting a couple of students in here. I know it's a 3 bedroom, but I was only going to put 2 students in here to start with, and yeah, they had a budget of 20,000 simoleons each, so it is an under 40k house. This one I did not work to an inspiration. I kind of just made it up on the fly as I went. It's really how that sort of went. So you'll see me fussing around with the shape of this quite a bit, just because it is something that I wasn't working to a particular outline of. So I was just kind of thinking about what rooms I wanted and how that was all sort of going to work. So initially I was only going to build the 2 bedrooms, but they ended up being quite large, so I was like, this really needs to be 3 bedrooms. So yeah, so there's going to be the 3 bedrooms up the top with one actually it's going to be two bathrooms up the top too. So one's going to be an ensuite and one's going to be a shared bathroom. And then downstairs there is a bathroom down there and the study, as well as an open plan living room with a kitchen dining area. So, you know, I think it's actually pretty fancy as far as student housing goes, to be honest. It's quite nice, but it is still budget. So I did go with colours that I kind of felt were more traditional, because I kind of didn't think that modern really lent itself to students. So yeah, I was thinking about the colors and the type of interior and the furniture and stuff I put in there as to what I felt would work for a student in a more traditional housing. So I went with browns, and I actually think this ended up looking really nice. I went with the, what did I go with? Which brick? Yeah, I think it was the Get Famous brick. I really like that brick. It's a nice brick. And just the growing together wood. Now, it's sort of a limited pack build, sort of not like, that makes no sense, right? So I did limit myself to no kits. I think there's only 3 stuff packs I used, and a few of the game packs, and then most of the expansion packs. So yeah, it's not all of the packs, so it is kind of limited, but yeah. It's a good number of packs though. But I think like a couple of the stuff packs, it's only kind of like 1 rug each. So, you know, if you don't have the stuff packs, probably not the end of the world. The only one that I would say you would need to have out of the stuff packs would be the tiny living one, because there's a few items I used from that. But the other 2 stuff packs I don't think you would need, but definitely you would need the game packs and the expansion packs, because they're spread out all over the place. So the outside is coming together. I got distracted waffling about packs, and I am using the Discover University windows. I was initially just going to do this as a limited pack build of base game and Discover University, but I absolutely disliked all the options for Discover University's exterior. I just couldn't get them to look good, and I was just like, nah, no, throwing that idea out the window. I don't want to do that. I am going to just expand my pack options just a little bit. So as you can see here, I am playing around with what I want to put underneath the triangular eaves up the top there, and I ended up going with the base game option. I liked this a bit better than the triangle window, because I felt like the triangle window was a little bit too modern. And I like those base game ones because they actually, I know they're not triangles, but they give off the triangular kind of shape just because of the way they sit. So that's why I quite like them for the option. I went with the seasons door, and I have the seasons columns and foundation, and I went with the horse ranch fencing. Stairs, I can't remember what I went with. So you see the stone fencing going there. Not sure which pack that's from actually, but that's the base game tree and that's the base game seat, so I know that much. And then just went with base game stone around the outside. So the students that I was planning on putting in here, one of them was going to be cooking. So they were going to be doing the chef aspiration and mixology aspirations, and the other student was going to be doing the gardening aspiration. So I wanted to make sure that I had a really nice kitchen for my chef, and I wanted to have like a little outdoor area. I knew I was not going to get like a large garden area. I could have done a rooftop garden, I guess, in hindsight, but again, I think that's probably a little bit too modern for this more traditional area, and I kind of feel like this would just be like a home that they're kind of, you know, renting for the semester rather than, you know, being a permanent residence as such. So anyway, I decided I wanted to have like a small garden in there, and that's what I did. So just using the jungle adventure plants. I actually really like those plants for outdoor planters. I think they're really nice. So I did that, and I just went back to horse ranch and did a couple of rocking chairs for on the porch. Just somewhere to sit and maybe study while they're, while they're relaxing. Well, I guess study and relaxing don't necessarily go hand in hand, but maybe they're sitting out on the porch and enjoying the last sunshine of the day while they're just going over their notes. Something like that anyhow. So just getting the last of the trees. There's not too much landscaping because it's quite a small lot, so the options were pretty limited. I decided to do like a little pathway running along the front toward the rubbish bin. Not the rubbish bin, the mailbox. And just another little garden around the front. So I'm just starting to organize the windows and where they are going to sit, because I just had them a little bit all over the place. And then it is working on the lighting. I did struggle with this a little bit, and then I thought, you know what, I think the lighting's going to be pretty basic. It is a cheaper house, and it's got students in it. I mean, why would you go like super fancy lighting with students? It makes no sense. And then I realized that I wanted to change the back area a little bit with the porch, because the door had to move from where I had it. I had it coming off a bedroom instead of out of the lounge area. So oops. So just had to do a little adjustment there. And still adjusting the windows, because those are actually quite expensive windows, so I didn't want to go overboard with them. I was like, yeah, do that right. And now I'm going to start working on the colours on the inside. So as I said, I wanted to go more traditional than I did modern. I think students probably would want to have more modern, but you know, this is stuff that they just live in for the semester. It's not their permanent homes, so you know, they kind of get what they get, and it's the kind of thing where the landlord probably just puts the basic amount of money into maintaining it without, like, you know, spending heaps of dollars. So then I am moving into the kitchen. So I don't show it, but this took me quite a lot of fussing around just to get the vibe I wanted out of this. It was a challenge, because I was like, well, I want to have this still kind of traditional looking, and so I went with the country living units initially, but yeah, I just couldn't get the colours to work. And I mean, because I naturally gravitate towards a modern kitchen, it was actually quite difficult for me to do a more traditional style of kitchen. I think having and then I had to go cheaper, because I'm like, hang on, this is going to be under 40k. What am I doing? I'm putting expensive ovens and fridges in. As much as my foodie sim would like that, that's not happening. I've only got like 20,000 simoleons left, and I'm already putting like top cabinets in. I mean, those are expensive as it is. Yeah, no, Velvet, no. You're still going cheap, even though you're building a nice-ish kitchen. So yeah, so I was just thinking about what I wanted to do for the tiling. That was a challenge, and then yeah, choosing the right cabinets. I just didn't want to go like with the super basic ones, because again, they actually have a, I mean, they're not super modern, but they're kind of modern-ish. But I think the horse ranch ones worked really well. They're still cheap, but they got that sort of rustic, more traditional feel to them. So I was quite happy with that for an idea for the kitchen. And then moving on to the dining, I did want like a bigger table going in there, because I thought that was the kind of thing where maybe they would gather at dinner time, just to hang out and you know, have a bit of social time from their lone sitting in their rooms studying time. So yeah, I did want to have like a nice table in that area, so that they could have sit around in a bit more social time. And then I just used the growing together painting on the wall, as well as just the base game plant. And I'm just sort of going through different colours at this stage, just working on what I wanted to do. I kind of thought that the rug with the beige wallpaper just wasn't quite right, so I switched that to the blue with the beige rug, and I felt that looked a lot better. It was a challenge for me to stick with this wallpaper as well. I was so tempted just to go with like a plainer one, or yeah, something else, but I was like, no, wallpaper and more traditional vibe, this is what I've got to stick with. So that's what I did. So I made the corridor down the back a little bit more narrow, and just cut off the living area a little bit with a couple of extra walls just sticking out a bit. The reason I did that is I kind of wanted to make the kitchen a little bit more hidden away, so it was a little bit more private, not like, you know, way out in the middle of the sort of the view from the front door. Now I had the decision of what to do with the living area, because again, I gravitate so naturally towards more modern. I was like, I have to choose some not so modern furniture, but like a lot of the traditional stuff, you know, stuff like that comes with base game and bits and pieces, is so expensive. It's like, yeah, it fits the bill, but I've got a limited budget to work with here. I mean, how am I going to make this work with the, you know, $1,000 couch? It's like, I just can't afford that. So yeah, it was a bit of playing around. I ended up still going with quite expensive. I spent $1,000 on couches anyway with these country living ones. They're $500 a piece, but at least it's 2 couches rather than just 1 couch. And I think they're traditional, but they were in the right color for me, because I wanted to do blue and beige throughout the house with the chocolate brown. So I think that did work for me. But yeah, it did hurt spending $1,000 on the couch, and I still haven't done like the bathrooms or the bedrooms or the study yet. So it's like, ouch. So I was looking at an entertainment unit with the Dream Home Decorator pack, but I changed my mind, because I figured by the time I put the TV in and then put all cabinets around, I may as well get like the tiny home living little unit, and then the side units on the side there. And I mean, they're all sort of decorated and ready to go, and I don't think there would be much price difference there. So I decided to go with those, and I actually hardly ever use those units, so it was a nice change to go with those. And it's the kind of thing I think you would find in a student house. I was going to decorate this bathroom, then I was like, hang on, I might do the bedrooms upstairs sort of first, and just really get an idea of where I'm at money wise, because I've got 10,000 simoleons left, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a study left to decorate. So yeah, ouch. So I went with, what bed is that? I don't actually know which bed that is. Maybe horse ranch. Actually, maybe. I was initially going to have this 2-bedroom, as I mentioned, and 2 bathrooms upstairs, but I end up turning that into another bedroom, so we have 3 bedrooms, and then I split that big bathroom because it was just way too big for the amount of stuff that I couldn't put in there. It was basically the reason why. I was like, I have not enough money to fill these bathroom spaces. They're just way too big for the amount of cash I actually have. So I decided to split the bathroom into an ensuite and a shared bathroom. Because the shared bathroom, which is off to the left, you can access from the hallway, and then the bathroom that's off to the right, you can only access from the bedroom. So I just decided to go for that, just simply because it was too much space for what I had the money to spend on it. At the end of the day, that's purely financial decision. And it was just going to look really empty if I left them as like big bathrooms. So having the smaller bathrooms divided off just would make it look a lot fuller. So that was the idea behind that. And even then, I mean, there's not that much stuff in them, but it is on a budget, so doing the best as I can with what I got. So I was playing around with curtains and what I wanted to do there. Ended up just saying like, nope, let's just go with blinds. And changed it to dark blue rather than the lighter powder blue. And then I just did a slightly different colour in the other bathroom, which is going to be the shared bathroom. So that is kind of a reflection of what is in the ensuite bathroom, except I do not think I put a shower in there. No, I don't. But I did put a divider for the toilet, just in case someone wants to go and have a bath while someone goes to the toilet. I probably won't, but you know, you never know. So there's a little divider there. That comes with Snowy Escape. It's actually quite a handy divider. I like that little divider. It's quite good. Just putting in some plant decorations, just to add a bit more life to that particular room. I'm still being a bit willy-nilly with the budget. I'm not being super careful with it, but yeah, there's a couple of bedrooms that won't get too much in them. One of the bedrooms will get really quite nicely decorated, and then the other two are a bit scant on decoration. Because somebody spent too much money on the big bedroom, didn't she? That was me. I did it. I admit, I spent way too much money on this particular bedroom that we are building now. And I ended up changing the walls. I did keep it traditional and wallpaper. But I decided that because it was quite a plain bed, I could actually get away with something less plain on the walls. Because as you can see there, when I was starting to put it in the dresser, I was like, this just kind of blends into the wall. It's horrible. So yeah, I went with cottage living and just added, yeah, more colour and decoration to the wall. And I think, you know, it gives it a nice life. I was initially going to do the I think it was cottage living sort of vanity, but ended up going with the horse ranch mirror cabinet door dresser thing and the hanging unit. It just kind of simply actually because of the wood, because the colour on the wood on the bed, I was having trouble matching that to the dresser. So I just, yeah, I went with that horse ranch one because it was sort of a decent-ish match for the bed. I didn't want to have like a whole lot of mismatched wood. I mean, it is Sims, you're going to get that no matter what, I think, but yeah, I wanted to try and reduce that as much as I could. So then we move on to the green bedroom, which is a little bit more of a masculine room. I kind of felt that was kind of the vibe I was going for, but it's pretty simple. I just sort of curtains, mat, and some lamps. That was all I could afford because I'm down to like just over 3,500 simoleons. So I was like, and then I didn't even put curtains in the single room. I completely forgot the curtains, so I'll see whether or not I can tweak things and get some curtains in there. I'm not too sure. I'll see how I go. I might actually delete that bath that's in here because I went with the shower. I kind of went with a shower bath for the downstairs, but it's like 875 simoleons, so I have regrets about that. And I'm just getting like a little bit of clutter in here, and just the, you know, like the toilet paper and bits and pieces to go in there too. And I did put I put the like curtains in the bathrooms, but I just missed the single room upstairs for some reason. So I'll try and go back and do that. I was going to do 2 computers as well, and just like have a dual study. So I'm like, you know, a couple of people can do it, but like, you know, by the time I added in like an extra window, that got expensive because they're like 130. So I decided I'll just put it in some relatively cheap shelving and a computer in the middle. I mean, you know, it's more like a, not quite, but almost a starter house. So, you know, you got to make some accommodations there as far as there will be growth later on. And I struggled with the color of that room. I don't know if I got it right. Because I wanted to keep with the blues and the beiges, but it just was, no matter what I did, it just looked weird. So I ended up just going with like a grey and then going with lighter wood. So I think the room sort of had a colder feel to it, but it worked a lot better colour wise. Anywho, let's take a tour of what we did. So I've brightened it up a little bit with the power of editing because it was quite dark in Britechester. Despite the name, it's not that bright. So I wanted to be able to see what we did. So I think this actually looks super cute. This is again another one that I might want to use like on a different lot and like, you know, decorate it properly. I've got quite a few of those these days, so it might be a new series that I do where I just do renos of my old builds and really give them a bit more life and love. But I really love the brick on the front and then the wood on the outside. I think that's really attractive. And I'm like really pleased with the living area. I think we did really good with that. Because, you know, we've got like some really nice book units, some nice couches, coffee table, TV, all the stuff. We've even got like a little hall closety thing. And a super large kitchen. Like, this is like super big for a cheap house. Thank you very much to the cheap items and Horse Ranch, by the way. That did help. And I think it still works nicely with the colours of the house and it doesn't look too modern, which is the thing that I was really worried about. I really didn't want it to look super modern. And then going through to our kind of bland study and then into the downstairs bathroom, which is pretty basic. Upstairs we've got the single room, the green room, a couple of bathrooms. There's my students there. They are celebrating, I think it's New Year's of all things. And then this is the ensuite bathroom with the navy. So once again, pretty basic, but this one has a shower as well as a bath in it. And then going through to the master bedroom, which is probably my favourite room in the house, I think, but that's because it's the most decorated one. Thank you so much for watching the build with me. I really appreciate it, and keep coming back because I always have more builds coming, as well as other things. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye!